This is the victim of the latest of terrible New York train attacks in the last week. A 45-year-old man who seemingly had no relation to the 23-year-old Kamel Hawkins, who I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute, and it does get a lot crazier. So firefighters pulled the man out, and a witness said that when they got him out, I was shocked to see him blinking his eyes and moving his fingers. He was bloody. A law enforcement source told the newspapers that by God's own hand, he fell perfectly in the trench.
He's alive! He's alive!
The victim suffered a head injury and was hospitalised in critical condition. Kamel immediately fled the station, so police released photos of him, and hours later the police found him. They arrested him and they charged him with second-degree attempted murder and second-degree assault. But here's the crazy part. Kamel had run-ins with the police before, apparently charged with assault in June 2019 after slamming a cop to the ground. He also has an open case in Brooklyn on assault, harassment and weapons possession charges for an incident on October 12th. Sources said he was released without bail in another case in 2020 despite prosecutors asking he be held. And of course people are saying get rid of bail reform. There are people saying, why aren't there more police presence? Then you have the people who are saying this is actually due to police incompetence. And I saw this one conversation which did shock me a little bit. This person said, I had an opportunity to visit New York City in the summer. I turned it down in part because I did not feel comfortable traveling around. Sure, I could have taken cabs everywhere, but that would have made things expensive. It's not really a viable place to be a tourist or work for that matter. Eventually this will catch up with the city. Why on earth would anyone voluntarily go there? And this person is making some really, really valid points. This is a horrific thing to have happened, but it's a ripple effect in so many different ways. The negative impact that it had, things like this has on America. But this person's reply, I don't know, it just shocked me a little bit. The line for Cat's Deli today was around the block, plus bars were full in the East Village and Lower East Side. I dare say most of these people were tourists, with some native New Yorkers too. There's no reason to fear walking the streets or taking public transport as long as one is aware of their surroundings. As a lifelong resident and straff hanger, no problem for me. One can get run over by a car, motorbike, trip on pavement, etc. anywhere home calls. Just go out and enjoy life. Everything will be fine. I don't know. The thing of just saying everything will be fine in response to somebody who was just pushed onto the train tracks in the same week that somebody was set on fire and burned alive, and there were also multiple other violent attacks. This person, if this was his friend or his family member who this happened to, I don't think he'd be saying this. I don't think he would be saying, don't worry about it, everything will be fine, just go out and enjoy life. This could have been you. This was a random attack. This was not provoked in any way. Yes, absolutely. Of course, this will have an impact on tourism. Of course it will. People don't want to go on holiday where they're trying to relax when it's a place that they know to be extremely unsafe. And I've seen some very, very strange arguments recently to try to justify the level of crime and violence happening in New York. And really, I think people need to think a little bit deeper into their argument when they're trying to say that. What do you think about it? Like, do you agree with this person, or do you understand the first commenter's perspective on this? Now, the other thing that people are saying, which is understandable, is that it's dangerous to stand so close to the tracks, especially being absent-mindedly looking at your phone. And this is a very sad fact of large cities nowadays, that you generally stand with your back against the wall away from the train because unfortunately this is happening. I think it's just good to remind everybody. But generally I've just seen an awful lot of people talking about the issue with the police being defunded. They want more police presence. But then some people are saying, for example, this person, it doesn't do any good to deploy these resources when the officers, guardsmen are instructed not to take action, and you have DAs that won't prosecute. That city is in a rapid state of decline that soon they won't be able to recover from. And it's gotten so bad that citizens are now taking things into their own hands. You have the guardian angels now back up and running, patrolling the subways again here.
Well, in our day and night patrols, 3-person patrols, we're all together. We're walking through the cars, which is something the police no longer do. Notice there are no mental health workers, there are no crisis intervention. They have all these fancy names. I never see them. And we spend millions of dollars, I might add. Our job is, A, do a wellness check on a homeless person. If they're homeless or emotionally disturbed, see if they're okay. If all of a sudden we walk into a situation where there's an episode, which oftentimes happens, we have to calm it down. A lot of times, these homeless and emotionally disturbed persons, they know of the guardian angels. We can have a calming effect. We can also bring the situation to the attention of cops on the platform. If there are cops, you're going to probably see them on the platform. Generally, that's why we always stick our heads out at the station, and we always check to the north, to the south. If there are any police officers, we would hold the door open, tell the conductor, we need the police presence here. Citizens won't do that because, unfortunately, the Daniel Penny effect has frozen them. They're not going to get involved. I've seen grown men who normally might have gotten involved. They're just not getting involved any longer. We train. This is what we do. We know how to do it. And we'll coordinate it once we get on the train with the conductor, who obviously has more freedom than the motorman, but we'll obviously make sure that that train is stopped and that the police respond, and that we keep order in the car so that nobody gets hurt, including the emotionally disturbed person or the homeless person.
How brave of them, and how just kind of them. I really like that they're coming at it from such a understanding place of sympathy. The thing about it is, it's sad. It's sad from every angle. It's sad that there's a young man, 23 years old, who, whatever he's been through in life, is so disturbed that he's continuously acting out, and God knows what circumstances have brought him to that place to be like that. It's very sad that people become the victim of people who are most likely already victims. But we can feel sympathy for the circumstances that bring a person to commit a crime. It doesn't mean that it's a good idea to defund the police or create systems that overly protect the criminal and then leave even more people at risk of becoming victims. And many people have mentioned in here the Daniel Penny effect, and people nowadays are afraid to get involved and afraid to try to help, afraid to try to step in because of the potential repercussions. And look, I think a lot of this is going to change because so much of it is being brought to light, and you have a new administration coming in that has a totally different stance than the previous administration on all of this. So I think there is going to be a lot of change soon. That's the positive side of this. And look, there are great people out there. You have to have a lot of respect for these guardian angels going out and doing something like this. But yeah, for now, it's just very, very sad to see how much of this is going on. And I really think the people who are trying to normalize it and are trying to say, oh, it's fine, you know, there's a lot of train rides a year, of course there's going to be some violence. For me, that argument doesn't sit well, and it's not good enough, and I don't think that people should accept it as good enough. You know, I think people should strive for more than that, strive for better than what's going on right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and Happy New Year, by the way, and thank you so much. We just hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm so grateful to everybody, so thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.